together with artist Drew Rockington and Catstronaut Waffles.
Hey everybody, it's me, Waffles. There's Leroy, just down there. Hey Leroy. And then, I'm not Waffles. No, I'm Waffles. You're Drew. We keep getting that messed up. It's me, Drew, and this is Waffles. That's me. And today we are continuing our journey under the ocean. And we are talking about, what are we talking about? Scuba divers. This is really cool. Scuba divers are really, like, you get to explore a whole world under the ocean. And scuba diving was invented by Jacques Cousteau, the ocean explorer. Before that, no one could, you had to wear a helmet with a hose strapped up, and it went all the way up to the surface, and they would pipe air down to your diving suit. But Jacques Cousteau invented this thing called the aqua lung, which was an air tank that you could bring on your back, so you could explore more in the ocean. And Waffles, you have some experience too with scuba. Yeah, when we do training for the Catstronauts, we do training in a giant pool with scuba tanks. And it's supposed to simulate weightlessness. It's called the zero buoyancy pool. Oh, that's really cool. So like astronauts go underwater and use scuba to get used to what it's like working in a weightless environment. Yeah. That is exactly what it's like. That's very cool. I think our astronauts do that too on our planet. Are we from the same planet? The world will never know. Okay, great. Should we jump into our scuba drawing? No, we shouldn't jump. We should dive. Okay, what a good idea. Okay, let's prepare to dive. Ready, set, dive. Whoa, oh, here we are. We're in our drawing zone. It looks like there's already a few scuba sea creatures already here. We kind of have to scare them away. A little octopus. This is just kind of a monster. Here's a weird turtle. Okay, turtle. And then this is a shark. Swim. Okay, great. Cool. Let's draw our scuba diver. I'm gonna zoom out just slightly because our paper is vertical today. Here we go. Great. Excuse me. All right. Okay, we're gonna be drawing a diver under the sea. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what our diver shape is going to look like. And remember, when you're under the sea, it's kind of like you're floating. So we can kind of have our arms be a little more like, woo, we're floating, but we're going to give our diver some cool things to hold. So let's go ahead and draw. We're going to figure out our shape first. So we're going to put our head here, make sure our character fits on the page, and we're going to draw, this is the line for the body, and then we can draw up for our leg, and then maybe our other leg will kick out like this. Here's our feet, and then we're going to have flippers, so let's extend those feet a little bit. Cool. And then we got to figure out our arms. So our arms can go down, one like this, and then one can be more like this. Here we go. Cool. All right, neat. So we have our scuba drawing. Okay, we have our character kind of roughed in. So now let's go ahead and start adding some potatoes to this to get our body done. This one, we're gonna do a long potato. Here we go. It's almost like a jelly bean. Let's do a big old jelly bean today. We've been drawing lots of potatoes. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna make a line about a third of the way from the bottom. This is like your waist. So when you wear a swimsuit or underpants, that's kind of where they stop. And then from there we can draw our other leg. So So it's gonna be a potato like that. Here's our knee. We're gonna draw a circle for our knee. And then we're gonna draw a long thing connecting down to that knee. And then now we have our cool flippers. And this is where the toes stop in the flippers. So we can add that little detail. Cool. And our scuba suit only goes to the ankle. So we're gonna draw a cuff, just like we're drawing pants. And then the flippers kind of look like slippers, so we're gonna make sure they look like, you know, slip-ons. Cool. And then we have our little ankle hanging out there. All right, that's awesome. That's one leg. And when we draw this, we can erase some stuff that we don't need. So we can erase these lines that overlap, and these lines that overlap. Great. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and draw this other leg. So same thing we're gonna do. We're gonna draw our big potato here. And we're gonna draw our little circle for our knee. Then we're gonna draw our long tube down. And then we're gonna draw our, now this is interesting. We need to draw our ankle and our foot. So I'm gonna draw our foot so it looks like that. Okay, it's almost like you're drawing a sock on the end. And then we're gonna draw our flipper coming right off of that. Cool. And here's our slippers. And then we can draw the flipper detail here. And then we're gonna draw the pant cuff. And we'll go back over the outside, up here, just like that. Let's go ahead and erase some lines that we don't need anymore. We don't need this, we don't need that. We don't need that circle. Cool, look at that. That was pretty easy. Started with some sticks and then we added some shapes and now we have our two legs. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and do that same thing, but we'll do it for our arms. So we have our shoulder here coming down to our elbow. So a little circle for the elbow. And then here is our arm. So we'll draw the one arm and then we'll draw the other arm, connect it to our shoulder. Great. And then same thing, we'll go over these. Boop, and we'll draw just like we're drawing a little shirt sleeve. You can erase the middle. Cool. Then let's go ahead and add our last piece of arm. So we're gonna put our elbow right here. Draw our arm, have it go all the way up, and just have that shirt there. Great, cool. Then we can make sure that we have a circle for our hand. Here's a circle for our hand. We're gonna figure out what's gonna go in those hands in a second. And then we're gonna draw, this is like our neck. So here's our little diver's neck. And then we can draw our diver's head. Okay, first thing that we need to make sure our driver has, beep, 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 beep. I'm driving a scuba. Diver, first thing we need to make sure our diver has is a mask. This is mask. This is our diving mask. So we need to make sure we have our diving mask on so that we can see underwater. So let's figure out where our diver is looking. Maybe our diver is looking up. Maybe there's a fish up here. So I'm gonna draw a straight line for our mask. And then I'm gonna draw the bottom of the mask along it. Boop. And diving masks always have the noses on there. So we're gonna do like a special nose piece on there. I'm gonna sharpen my pencil real quick because we are running out of pen. Whoa, I forgot. This pencil was so small. Whew, hope we have enough pencil. I think we'll have enough to get through this drawing, but this one is now the tiniest pencil we've ever used in a drawing. Whew. Getting close to the end of the pencil. Okay, cool. So look, we have our nose and we have our drawing mask. Let's go ahead and erase some lines that we don't need, like inside the mask. And then we can add our eyeballs. And we can add our diver's ears. Some people have hoods on when they dive. Some people dive with their hair out. This is kind of up depending. I'm sure there's depending on the situation. And then now the diver has, this is the cool part about scuba diving, is you have the scuba tank and you have a breather thing that you put in your mouth. And this gives you your oxygen. So we're just gonna draw a circle where the mouth is gonna be. And we're gonna draw another circle in that. And then another circle in that. This is gonna be like our little breather. You kind of put it, you hold it in your teeth. And then we're gonna put some little doodads on it. And it's got a hose, so we're gonna have this hose going around to our scuba tank, which will be back here. And we can put hoses on both sides, actually. So we'll do another hose going back here. Cool. Now, let's go ahead and do our scuba tank. So our scuba tank we're gonna put on our back, and it's something you wear, it's like a backpack. So let's go ahead and put, here's the top of the bag of the tank, and it's gonna go all the way down. I'll draw the bottom of the tank here. Pretty cool. Then we're gonna add some backpack straps. Coming around to the tanks. Like this. Clink. To the bottom. Here's another tank, or another backpack strap here. And then we're gonna do a strap across the middle, just to keep it on. Okay, cool. Then we need to have, this is where our hoses hook up at the very top. So we'll put a ball on top of our tank and a little device for the hoses to hook up to. And then we'll draw our hose hooking in, clink, and then our other hose hooking in there. You might not see it because we still have to draw our diver's hair. So let's go ahead and draw, just like we did that mermaid hair, we're gonna draw some cool hair. It's kind of floating up everywhere. We're rhyming now and I don't care because we are drawing diving hair. Diving hair. There we go, this is cool. Got a few crazy strands of hair going all over the place. Cool. And we can draw, this is like where the hair is coming from. What do they call that? This part. Your forehead? The scalp? Here we go. This is looking great. Adding a few more lines so I know how to draw my hair once I start getting in those final details. Okay, cool. Our diver is looking really good. Let's go ahead and add a belt on our diver. Sometimes when you go scuba diving, you have a belt with like your different tools. Sometimes you have little weights on your belt so that it helps keep you underwater, helps keep you buoyant. Maybe this diver, we're gonna add like a little, oh, I know what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna put these little belts, little weights on our belt. And then in this hand, we'll make this hand a fist. So I'll add some fingers, and I'm gonna add a triangle just at the top of the fist. This is gonna be cool, watch this. We'll add a triangle there, and then now I'll add a big bag here. And this can be like a net bag. This person is collecting, you can put like a shell in there. You can put a starfish. They're just collecting all these little things they find. Maybe there's a sand dollar. That's pretty cool. And then maybe with their other hand, they're trying to actually say hi to a fish. So let's do a hand waving. So I have my circle, and I'm gonna draw my thumb. And then I'm gonna draw just like a rectangle on top of it. And from that rectangle, I'm gonna draw my fingers. There we go, they're waving. And who are they waving at? Let's see, we'll do a seahorse. This will be cool. Boop. So a seahorse is a really neat animal. So they kind of look like a comma. So we're gonna draw their head, a circle, and then another circle, and then their tail will kind of curl like that. And then their tail curl up to their body, and then you kind of do that with their body. And we'll add, they have these little fins on their backs that help them get around. I'll draw a little smiley seahorse there. Hi. Cool. And then if we're on the ocean floor or we're in a reef or something, we can start drawing there's pieces of coral. Maybe there's a sea urchin with its little spikes. You can draw pieces of seaweed floating up. You can really have some fun here. I'm gonna quickly draw some stuff, but you can go back and add some more details. Add a sunken treasure chest, all that stuff. And then the last thing that we'll do that with our inks, is we'll start adding some bubbles. Okay, I think we're ready to ink. I think this is a really fun drawing. Who's ready to ink? Raise your hand. Just me? Oh, I hope you are. I hope you raise your hand because we're gonna start inking now. Grab your trusty marker. This is mine. It's a Sharpie marker. You can get them anywhere. They're pretty great. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the ear actually today. And I'm doing that because I want to make sure I draw, this is like the band for my diver. Okay, now we draw our diving mask. Boop. And if at any time you think you need to add more detail to something, go ahead and do that. Take time to do that. So here's a little circle. You know, put a little knob on the masks. If you want to, you can even get in there and do like it's really hard work, but you can really get in there and do like a little outline inside. All these little details help make your drawing come alive. So don't be afraid to spend time on those details. Okay, now I'm gonna do my breathing apparatus. I'm gonna start here with this little seal for the hose. And I'm gonna draw my circle. Draw my other circle, kind of the edge of it. And then here's a circle in here. Here's the other circle inside. little stick pointing out. Then here's my other breathing apparatus. And I'm going to go ahead and draw this tube hooking up to my oxygen tank. And I'm going to take a little bit of time and I'm going to draw these lines on my oxygen tube. Just think that would be a cool detail to have. Here's the other oxygen tube. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, here's our face somewhere. There's a lot of gear around that face, so you just need just a few lines to kind of put it in there. Okay, now we're gonna draw, I'm gonna draw the hair actually. So, our hair is tucked in behind the mask, but then it comes up. So first I'm gonna do the outline of the hair. And I'm gonna, some of them I'll bring all the way down, just like that. But it's okay. You don't have to draw everything everywhere. Uh-oh. Is my marker running out? Marker might be running out. Let's find a new marker. Oh, this one looks like a new one. Switch markers. Sometimes you just gotta switch markers. Oh yeah, this is a new one. Great. So I'm going back over these hairs. I'm stopping pretty much the same point. Right there where her forehead line would be, where her scalp would start. There we go. Here's our other hair. This is really cool. And then I'm gonna add a few hairs just kind of going off on their own. Whoa, neat. That's really cool. That was worth it. Okay, now let's finish our scuba tank. Here's our breather. Here's the connector to the actual tank. Here is the tank. I know this is really, there's a lot of lines going on and sometimes it's really confusing, but just remember to take it slow, draw one little line at a time. If you're thinking about the scuba tank, maybe you draw the straps for the tank right away. Okay. I'll draw the straps on both sides. Looking good, everybody. Here I'm going over my scuba suit. I added just another around that elbow, that inner arm. Here's that. You can just see when it folds, there's two little lines. Boop, 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 boop. Just added those two little lines right there. Boop, boop, boop. And then we'll add just a line around her elbow. Give it some definition. Let's go ahead and do that other arm. Boop, boop. Here's our elbow all the way up to the forearm. Okay, now we're gonna draw our waving hand. Boop. I'm gonna go back over my little fingers. That's pretty cool. Looks great. Now let's do our hand holding the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4 fingies. And I'm gonna draw the little triangle end of the bag here. And I'll draw the outline of the bag. Let's go ahead and draw those things that our diver found. Here's a sand dollar. Here's a little shell. Here is our starfish. Cool. Let's go ahead and add the net over top of them. You can just draw right over top of them. It's important that you want to add big enough net so that you don't cover up what's inside. Okay, now we're gonna back to our diver. I keep calling it a driver. We should have drawn a truck driver. That would have been way more fun. Here we go. Here's our little diving belt. Get our little diving weights on. Keep us buoyant under the sea. Under the sea. You can be buoyant if you are diving. Take it from me. Another song for the soundtrack. Ha ha! Okay, great. Now, let's go ahead and draw that leg. Boop. Same thing, 2 little lines for the crease there. And our knee all the way back. Put a little line around the outside of our knee. Here we go. Here's our flipper. Here's like the little flaps of the flipper. The flipper flaps. We drew some flipper flaps. Here's our other knee all the way down. Here's the pants all the way up. Bonus line, flipper. Flipper rhymes with slipper, so I think it means a flipping slipper. So if you take a flipper on dry land, do you think it would flip? If it means a flipping slipper? Who knows? Here's our diver. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and draw our seahorse. Gonna go around it, down its belly, to its little curly tail, back. I'm gonna do these little lines, and then its little fin, little lines in the belly. There's its eyeball. Cool. Then we're gonna add this little sea urchin, little spikes. Great spikes. Here we go. This is awesome. And then we're gonna add some seaweed. Seaweed's really fun to draw. You just kind of do squiggly lines next to each other, going up like this. Here we go. Some more squiggly lines. Kind of stack them. You can add a line down the middle if you want to. I'm not putting a lot of time into these, and it's okay. I just want them to be quick things that kind of, help create the scene. You don't need to put, sometimes if you don't put a lot of detail into your background elements, it helps drive the focus of your drawing. Okay, cool. We have a really cool diver in the ocean. Now we're going to add some bubbles. Now when you're breathing underwater in your scuba tank, most of the bubbles are coming from your mouth. So let's go ahead and add the most bubbles here. We'll add big ones coming up from our diver. And then let's go ahead and start then adding these little ones all the way around. Just enough to make it look like we are underwater. We really want that feeling, that under the sea feeling. I'm adding just little bits, little dot bubbles. But this is the one up here by our diver, and you can see I'm like overlapping some of them. This is where when you exhale, a lot of bubbles come out. They all go blah, 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 blah. Some of them even go off the page. This is awesome. Real quick, we're gonna add some sand to the very bottom. Just dot, 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 dot. Can you see that? Make sure You leave room for your signature. And then add some sand around it. And we're done! We did it! So cool. This is such a cool scuba drawing. This was a longer one today. A lot of cool details. But look at it. We started with just a stick figure and we slowly added those bubbles around it, and now we have a really cool scuba diver. So very cool. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for drawing with us. That's so rad. Hey, I want to see how your scuba diver turned out. So if you would like to show me, go ahead and get permission from your caretaker. Hop onto Twitter or Instagram and tag me at the Brockart in your picture of your drawing. Show me your scuba diver. Did you add a treasure chest? What kind of fish did you draw? I want to know all about it. I want to see your drawings. This is so cool that you see how it turned out. This was a pretty complicated drawing. We should be proud and want to show that off. That would be super rad. So yeah, go ahead and hop on to @theBrockart on Twitter or Instagram. Post your drawing and tag me in it. That would be rad. Another thing you can do if you want to show off or you have a question you want to ask, go ahead and write us at Drew Brockington. I guess it's write me, but Waffles can read it too. Drew Brockington, P.O. Box 17479, Minneapolis, Minnesota 55417 9998. 9998. Yeah, that was right. That is our real world address, and we check that weekly, and we would love to read and share your letters on the air. There's our little snail, post snail. So very cool, everyone. We will be back tomorrow with more ocean themed together, ocean themed let's do fun stuff together. I guess this is Ocean Week, Fleet Week. So everyone have fun. And we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.